Right, so, Bishop, the question is, what do you do when you start off being the good couple? People look at you and they say, oh, they're a nice couple. But the longer you court that person, the other person seems to be a lot less about God than you thought they were. So, when is the time that I usually to have the thought or question, I need to walk away from this moment? When you get in there and
If God ever show you red flags, you pay attention to them. If God ever raises up a red flag and lets you see something in that individual, Dr. Owens, it's really not really fair that I am sitting here because I always had the gift of a prophet and so on and so forth. So when I saw her, I knew she was the one, all right? But everybody doesn't have that ability to hear from God on that type of a level. But so God does bless, or God will move in a courtship, and many times he will show you what you're going to get. Sometimes it's just a flash, but it's just a moment, but you see it, you recognize it, it stays with you. You go home, you lay down, you say, I don't know why they said that, or I don't know why they would do something like that. God has given you a red flag. And this is serious business. Serious business. So if you get a red flag or enough red flags, you should definitely leave it alone. You feel the Lord telling you to pull out of that. You have no idea. You have no idea how devastating a bad marriage. It doesn't mean that marriage is going to have problems, sure. But when it's a bad marriage, I mean, when it is I don't even want to go home to this anymore, bad kind of a marriage, you have no idea what it is to go through something like that. It's not worth it. So if God shows you a red flag, you pay attention to it.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, like Bishop said, and God has shown you that red flag. You can't be of the mind, but I think I could fix it.
Oh, God, no.
I just really think I can fix it. I think if I stay with him long enough, I'm going to change him. I'm going to change her. So I know what God says, but I really think I can fix this. And everybody knows the story of a situation I had with a family member, and that's what they did. They got into something, and God gave them the red flag distinctly. Yeah. And that's what they told their father. They said, Dad, I know that, but I really love her, and she loves me, and this is just what I want. He said, son, if you marry her, she's going to be a burden to you. He said, well, she'll just have to be my burden in life. Over 45 years, and she remained a burden till the Lord took her home. So when he showed you that red flag, and for you all, as saints and Christians, you know the truth. You can't sit here like, well, I didn't know. Yes, you did, because we just told you. If God give you a red flag, take heed to it. Okay, next question, Bishop. Should I keep moving on with the person that I connect with spiritually, but we don't have much in common naturally? Should the spiritual side be enough to keep me happy for the entirety of our marriage? Oh, this is a hard question. Okay.
So wait a minute, so both people are spiritual.
Yes.
But on the natural side,
they don't have nothing in common.
I understand.
They don't. So they're asking, so should I just say, well, this person, the spiritual side of this person should be enough to keep me happy, though once we start talking about the Lord, they boring.
I don't know how they got past the first date. Honestly, that is sometimes when people marry out of desperation or situations like that. Real quickly, let me just throw a caveat in. I remember once when I saw a preacher that I knew, and I walked up behind him to tap him on the shoulder, and I never got a chance to tap him on the shoulder. And he was asking a question of his wife's employer. And he said to the employer, you mean she didn't call in sick today? And the employer said, no. He turned around. He didn't even know I was standing behind him. He turned around and looked me in my face. I've never to the day saw a look like that. To know that his wife is somewhere with somebody else, and she told him, he a preacher, And she told him that she had called in, or he thought that she had called in sick because she was not somewhere where she should have been, so on and so forth. I've never forgotten that. Listen, you should not want somebody that don't want you. Okay? If they don't want you, don't. I would say don't waste your time, but I said this way: don't waste your life. All right.
Amen, amen. Wow. That was a tough question. Now, if I had to pick between the two, I believe I would have somebody more spiritual than natural, but a marriage, you really should have them both. But I get concerned, Bishop, when some people don't really care about the spiritual side. They're only getting into marriage for the fun of it. I wonder, what are we going to do? We're going to go out and dress together and go out and do all these things. They really haven't even considered the spiritual side. As a matter of fact, now don't be getting all this spiritual on me. We done been to church. Now we get home, amen, it's me and you, and we done been to church and spent our time. I can't deal with nobody that's carnal like that and you don't like spirit. Matter of fact, with me and you're a Christian, you should be more spiritual than you are natural. Oh, y'all. Because I can't trust you if you're more natural than spiritual, because you're going to get into more natural stuff than you would spiritual stuff, which means that you take my peace.
That's right.
You take my peace from being comfortable when you're not around me. I don't want to have to run after you and wonder, where you doing now? Where you at now? You have to be careful for that. But by the same token, there has to be some kind of camaraderie that's natural and spiritual. Bishop and I probably, we talk more about spiritual things than we do natural things, but he and I can talk about natural things, about anything, and be just as friends in talking about it. We can talk all the way to wherever we're going, 6 hours on the plane. I've learned
We can talk?
Yes, Bishop, don't fool you all. Bishop can talk, and I can't even get a word in. Now don't let me tell on you, Bishop. I'll be like, but honey, now don't make me go there. Bishop be like, I'm trying to get my point in. Wait. Now did he do you all like that? Now wait, and hold on, let me tell you this. I said, okay, and I said, wait, honey, and did you know such and such? I said,
Well,
okay,
yeah, that's true on some real important things. That's true. But we are, normally when we are traveling, if we're traveling somewhere in a car,
That's true.
we used to go to Detroit to go down there to shop, right? And that's what, an hour and 20-minute drive from Lansing, an hour and a half, whatever. We would leave Lansing, and Dr. Owens would start a conversation. We would end up in Detroit, and the only thing I said all that trip was,
No, I will not. That ain't no conversation. That's not true, honey.
Never take a breath. She don't get tired,
Yeah.
ain't run out. And when we get there, she not done.
No.
Part 2 is coming on the way
now,
back.
you all know me. I am not, you can't sit in the car for me 2 hours and don't say nothing. Now, if you're going to be in that car with me, you're going to talk back to me. You're going to have that's not a conversation, because that way I wouldn't know if he's asleep or woke. So we talk back. I am the most communicative. And then when we first got married, I talked to him because they're telling him things I did growing up and everything. Yeah. But the point I'm trying to get across is you have to have communication both ways. It have to be a spiritual and a natural situation and not just one way.